Welcome to Networks Professionals.
All right, welcome. Today we are pulling back the curtain on one of the most important, and maybe most invisible, systems that is literally running the show every single time you go online. We're talking about the domain name system, or as you've probably heard it, DNS. I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about it? You type in a website, you hit enter, and bam, like magic, the page just loads. How on earth does your computer know where to go when there are billions of websites out there? Well, that is the exact mystery we're going to solve today. And this, right here, really gets to the heart of the problem. You see, we humans, we remember names. Simple things, right? Like Google.com. But computers? They speak a totally different language. They communicate in numbers, and they need a very specific address called an IP address to find anything. There's this massive translation gap between how we think and how they work. And that, my friends, is exactly where DNS comes in. The best way to think about it is this. DNS is the Internet's phone book. It's the essential service that automatically does the translation for us. It looks up the name we type in, finds the correct number, and connects us where we want to go, all without us ever having to memorize a single long string of digits. So how does this digital phone book actually work its magic? Well, let's follow the journey of a single click. We're going to trace the path from the moment you hit that enter key to the second the website finally pops up on your screen. It's a fascinating, high-speed chase across the web. And get this entire process happens in just milliseconds. Okay, so it starts with your request for Google.com. Your computer immediately asks a recursive resolver for help. Think of it as the first stop. That resolver then goes right to the top, to a root server, and asks, hey, where do I find anything that ends in .com? The root server points it to the right top-level domain server, or TLD server for short. From there, the TLD server points to the final source of truth, the authoritative name server for Google.com itself. And that server has the prize, the actual IP address. It sends that number all the way back down the chain, your browser makes the connection, and the website loads. It's this incredible, logical relay race happening at pretty much the speed of light. Okay, but the internet is also really, really smart. It doesn't want to run that entire race every single time. And that's where something called caching comes in. Basically, your computer and your browser keep a short-term memory of the IP addresses you've looked up recently. So the next time you go to that same site, it just skips the whole journey and pulls the address from its memory. It's this super clever shortcut that makes everything feel so snappy and instant. So we've thrown around a few of these server names already, like root and TLD. Let's actually meet the key players in this process. Let's give them a proper introduction, because they're the characters who make this whole incredible journey possible. All right, let's really nail this down with our phone book analogy. First up, you've got the DNS recursor. This is your helpful librarian, the one who does all the legwork for you. It starts by going to the root server, which is basically the main index for the entire phone book. Then you have the TLD server. This is like a specific chapter in the phone book, like the section for all the .coms or .orgs. And finally, you get to the authoritative server. This is the exact page entry, the one with the specific name and the exact number you've been looking for all along. Each one has a perfectly defined role in this chain. Okay, so we've gotten into the nitty-gritty of what DNS is and how it all works. But let's pull back for a second and talk about the why. Why is this invisible system so absolutely critical to how we use the internet every single day? I mean, think about it like this. Imagine if, instead of having names in your phone's contacts, you had to memorize the 10-digit phone number for every single person you wanted to call. That's exactly what the internet would be like without DNS. The web as we know it would basically be unusable. This system is the fundamental layer of convenience that makes the whole thing human-friendly in the first place.
Now, obviously, if a system is this important, it also needs to be secure, right? That's where something called DNSSEC comes into play. It's basically a security layer that adds a digital signature to all the DNS data to prove it's authentic. It helps make sure that when you type in your bank's website, you actually get sent to your bank's real website and not some fraudulent lookalike. It's all about making sure you can trust the connection.
So when you boil it all down, DNS is this silent, tireless translator that makes the entire modern internet possible. It's the ultimate phone book, totally invisible when it's working perfectly, but absolutely essential to everything we do online. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought. If this phone book is so critical, what really happens when a page gets torn out? What happens when it fails?
Thanks for watching.